So what's going on, everyone? My name is MrDalekJD and this is a humongous video, so make sure you guys stay tuned to the end as we have a bunch of exciting zombies news, because as you've seen from the title, we have our first proper look at Alpha Omega with the full poster. But on top of that, Treyarch has just announced details that are very exciting. So on my channel on Monday the 8th of July, Treyarch are going to be revealing gameplay of Alpha Omega, which you can find here on the channel. They're also going to be premiering several trailers, which must include the Zombies trailer, and there's some special guests as well involved, including Avenged Sevenfold, which means the Easter egg song is more likely than not going to feature Avenged Sevenfold, which is extremely exciting. But the Alpha Omega poster is here, and I need to briefly talk to you about how we have it. Because today Treyarch slid in my DMs like on a big water slide with this picture. And it doesn't really look like much, but it's a mosaic of like hundreds of screenshots from World at War, Campaign Zombies, Black Ops 1, 2 and 3 Zombies, all making some sort of image. But on its own, this doesn't really make a lot of sense. But I wasn't the only person that got sent one of these. I was one of like maybe 10 or 12 other YouTubers, and you may have seen over on Twitter. If you follow me, make sure to follow me down below, and all the other guys got sent them as well. And pieced together, we finally have the poster, and boom, here it is in all of its glory. Now, I do need to give a big shout out and credit to Crafty Animation on Twitter, who has made this image that I'm placing in this video. I don't know if Treyarch has released like the full poster yet that's a bit more cleaner looking and obviously more high res, but at the moment this is what we got to work with. But it's our first ever look at Alpha Omega, which is really exciting. So we have the Premise crew, we have the Ultimus crew, we have the logo and a Nuketown mushroom cloud, and it looks absolutely amazing for a poster design. So let's break it down and talk about what we're seeing here. So we can see the Premise crew. We have Takeo, Dempsey, Richtofen and Nikolai, and they stood very, very similar to the pose they had in that Blood of the Dead teaser trailer, which is pretty cool. But since we know practically the map is Nuketown, this would have been the poster that pretty much confirmed that it was Nuketown, because we have this gigantic explosion and mushroom cloud. Now, in that explosion, if you look to the middle, you can see a sort of tower spire, and this is actually part of the image I got sent. And if you guys don't recognize what this is the clock tower from Nuketown. But in Nuketown Zombies, the clock tower has actually arched over. It's fully destroyed because of the Nuketown explosion, but this is set about 60 years before that happened, where we have the clock tower standing, and you can see the clock face on it. It's nearly at 12 o'clock, and that thing is still up. I don't know if it's going to be after this explosion, but that's the detail you need there to confirm, if you were still skeptical, that it is Nuketown that we're going to be revisiting here. But the mushroom cloud is easily the most interesting part of this poster that I want to talk to you guys about. So we can see the Ultimus crew from left to right. We have Richtofen, Nikolai, Dempsey and Takeo, which is really exciting. And we assumed that we'd have Ultimus and Premise in this map, but there was no confirmation or any leads to suggest that that was actually going to happen. Because, I mean, we do have the Ultimus crew with Premise at the end of Classified, but there's no reason to suggest that they'd both be in the map at the same time for the next DLC. But it looks like that could be the case. Now, who we play as is another question entirely, because I genuinely don't know. What do you guys think, and who would you rather play as? Would you rather play as the Premise crew, as we see down below in this poster, or would you rather see us play as Ultimus? I think I'd rather see Ultimus, but the way this poster looks like they're both going to be involved some way, somehow. Now, if I was a guessing man, I would say we're probably playing as the Premise crew. But this poster makes it seem like the Ultimus crew have some big involvement in this map. I don't know if they're going to be physically appearing in parts during the map, if we can actually play as them and like swap the crews we're playing as, because that would be absolutely insane. But how cool would that be, right? If you played the map in one perspective as the Premise crew and the events of whatever the ending happens, what if when you played as Ultimus, you could change what happened and get a different ending? Like, that would be mind-blowing in itself. I don't ever see that happening, but it's a cool idea, right? But it's the fact that the Premise crew are watching a explosion happen. Why is this explosion happening? We don't know, because there was an explosion which caused Nuketown zombies in 2025, but this looks like a humongous nuclear mushroom cloud explosion by Nuketown. So what if, from what we've seen of the leaked screenshots, which we'll try not to talk about too much, I'm not going to show them on screen, it sort of looks like Nuketown is already partially destroyed by some sort of nuclear event. And this poster looks like the actual event itself happening right before our characters get there, or they're seeing it happen right as they get there. But I think one of the most important and cool details in this, which you'd severely overlook, is the middle of the poster is a zombie's head in the middle. But I think there is way more to this than meets the eye, because why would Treyarch just put like a random zombie in the poster there as the biggest person along with those Ultimus characters, right? And it gets you a bit puzzled and a bit wondering on who that could be, because it could just be a generic zombie. And you've probably seen from the title wondering, when is he going to talk about this? But if you compare this zombie's face to a picture of Ted, are you starting to see a little resemblance? Because I'm seeing some resemblance. Now at first, it just looks like a normal zombie, but it's missing a nose, which, you know, isn't a big deal. Zombies don't really have noses. But what I want you to look at is the eyes, okay? They're very circular, and if you look at Ted's eye shape and his eye location, it matches what we see here pretty well. And also, if you look at the mouth of this creature, it has a very weird set of teeth, and Ted also has a weird set of teeth. Now, you also got to remember, Ted is 60 years after this image, so if it is Ted, this is a much more newer version, a less destroyed version of Ted. But it would make a lot of sense, right, for it to be Ted, because if we think back to Nuketown 2025, we hear the transit bus horn like as if the transit bus was driving past Nuketown on the way to transit. And the locations and the different groups involved with transit, like the Harp facility, that's near transit. And there's also some links between that and Nuketown as well. We also see a Ted blueprint inside of Classified of what his more human-like look is, and how at the time his sort of prototype functions were very similar to the characteristics we see in Transit. So I would not be surprised if what we're seeing here is an image of Ted going crazy during experimentation. It would be absolutely amazing and would help tie in some of the rumors we've heard about it being Transit and Nuketown. I mean, this poster pretty much clearly says it's Nuketown, but that could also be how Transit is sort of linked in. And we also have the Ted blueprint in Classified, and everything else we've seen in Classified has linked into Nuketown so far, when it comes to the Pack-a-Punch camos on the ray gun, when it comes to the new MPD, the American MPD, when it comes to the drill, and the actual, like, way the drill blueprints look is definitely about the Nuketown drill. We also have a Nuketown bunker blueprint as well, and Ted's also part of that, so it would not surprise me if Ted is actually in Nuketown somehow. And I think that would be really, really cool, because I'd love to see it, and I'm sure you guys would as well. But of course, that's just a theory, so don't go flaming me in the comment section if it doesn't end up being Ted. I just thought it was a really, really cool idea. Some other ideas it could potentially be is just a generic zombie, but again, you have to really think in your head, why would Treyarch just put a random zombie in there? And it does have blue eyes, just like we see Ted with blue eyes in the normal Transit map, but it could also be Samantha. Now, we've never seen Samantha in this way. She's always, you know, the little girl that we see her from Moon. So I don't know how exactly she would end up looking like that, but the possibilities are endless, and that's where I want you guys to let me know in the comment section, who do you think that is? Because out of everything in this poster, that is definitely what is the most mysterious part, and something which I think Treyarch has definitely intentionally put in there, which we're going to learn as we play the map, just like we've seen with every other story poster we've had for the BO3 maps, as well as the BO4 maps as well. But that's going to round it up for this video, guys. So just a reminder on your screens right now, Treyarch is going to hold a live stream, which you'll be able to find here on my channel at 7 p.m. UK time, which is 11 a.m. Pacific time, where we're going to have several new video premieres which are going to be on the channel, including Alpha Omega gameplay reveal. There's also going to be showing off multiplayer map walkthroughs, there's a multiplayer mode gameplay, the Blackout map update reveal, and a very special guest. And like I said at the start of the video, it's Avenged Sevenfold, because you can see their logo in the bottom right, which is super exciting. Anytime we've had like a big ether map like Call of the Dead or Transit and even Moon with an Avenged Sevenfold song, it's always been super hype, and I can't wait to see that. So you guys need to be subscribed so you don't miss out on all the action on Monday, and then when the map drops on Tuesday, we'll be live streaming hunting for those Easter eggs, and it will be here in abundance. So make sure you guys are subscribed. If you enjoyed the video and you're hyped, let me know, drop a like, catch you soon.